What's going on, dudes? It's your boy Andy Matrix. So, I have an interesting video, and you guys are probably wondering 7-Eleven, why is this important? Andy Matrix, you are an anime, manga, and gaming and Japanese culture channel. What are you talking about 7-Eleven? Let me tell you something. I went to Japan in 2019, and I want to go back soon because it's been a while. It's been a long time since I've been to Japan. But the first time I walked into the 7-Eleven of Japan in Tokyo, I was devastated. I mean, I was absolutely freaking amazed at the quality of food that they had in 7-Eleven Japan. In America, you walk into a 7-Eleven in America and it's basically just junk food, just chips, genetically modified crap, sodas. It's garbage. 7-Eleven in America is absolutely garbage. It's just chips. It's just like it's garbage food, right? It's just junk food. It's a junk food stop in America, right? But the 7-Eleven in Japan, dude, it is like not only do they have like really like Japanese food, onigiri, ramen, meals, they have like legit healthy food in there. They keep the green tea. They keep the green tea warm early in the morning. You get a bottle of green tea warm. You they serve like ready-made quality food in 7-Eleven. I was like, how come we don't have this in America? Listen, man, once you go to other countries and then you come back to America, you start to see things differently. Like why does America do this and why does America do that? And then it starts to make sense the way that this country is built. America is not built it's not built for people, it's built for corporations. I'm gonna leave it at that because then the freaking the cabal's gonna come after me. The hit the
Hello, this is Yami Yugi from Yu-Gi-Oh! And make sure to subscribe to Andy Matrix's channel. Now on with the show.
the shadow government's gonna come after me for saying this. But anyways, let's go ahead and see this news from Wall Street Journal. Right, this is a very important topic to me because after traveling outside of America, see that's a problem. A lot of you guys have never been outside of America. I have. And when you see the difference, you're gonna be pissed, bro. Here we go.
Rice balls,
Look at that. Michelin type of ramen.
collaborations with famous restaurants like Santoka, milk tea. This is 7-Eleven in Japan. But in the US, the company is more known for Slurpees and hot dogs.
It's just
Yeah.
not as appealing. My perception is people go in there when they need to.
The world's largest convenience store chain has over 13,000 locations in North America alone
And they're all shitty.
and made over $72 billion in sales last year. But now, it's working to bring more Japanese inspiration to its American stores. Convenience stores have historically made their money selling tobacco and gas. But now, as cigarette sales continue to decline and many expect gas sales to slow, many are racing to find other sources of revenue and doubling down on food. But shifting a business this massive is a major undertaking. This is the economics of 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven started as an American company, but it went bankrupt twice. Once in 1932 during the Great Depression, and again in 1990 as it struggled with debts.
7-Eleven is now owned by a Japanese company, Seven & I.
Yes, so that's something that I didn't really know about. I was wondering why the 7-Eleven in Japan was absolutely amazing. And then I found out that it was actually bought out by a Japanese company, right? It was 7-Eleven is now a Japanese-owned business. A Japanese-owned business. As a matter of fact, if you live in Japan, working at 7-Eleven, you actually get decent pay there, right? It's a very, very successful company, and I'm glad the Japanese bought it.
Holdings.
A majority stake was bought by Ito Yokado, a Japanese supermarket chain that had been operating 7-Eleven stores in Japan for more than a decade. From the beginning, the Japanese owners said American 7-Eleven, both its central operations and its franchises, had a lot of catching up to do.
The Japanese model
which makes me wonder because they do own, right? They own 7-Eleven in America, right? So how come they never tried to make any changes to the American 7-Eleven? It does make me wonder because the quality of food in the Japanese 7-Eleven is absolutely phenomenal. So it makes me wonder.
Was a lot more data driven. They would pore over what sold well at what time of day, break it down by gender and age, and use that to inform their next order decisions. The American system just wasn't as sophisticated as that.
There were some major differences between US and Japanese 7-Elevens. The US stores were typically larger and attached to gas stations. The Japanese stores didn't sell gas, but had a much wider array of...
Okay, this is, again, so let me go back a little bit. Right here, so the Japanese 7-Eleven, they didn't sell gas. The American 7-Eleven sells gas because in America it's a vehicle, it's a car country. Japan is a train country. Okay, Japan is a train country. So what that means is that, so if you go to Japan, you can take the train pretty much anywhere in Tokyo, anywhere in the country. You can take the train. In America, we can't say the same thing, right? The American train system is garbage, right? So, and again, so Japan is obviously much smaller than America by much, much smaller. I think that Japan is the same size. It's the same size as Texas. Let's just say probably the same size as Texas. And yet, okay, and yet Japan has 1,538 locations of 7-Eleven. That's how good the company is. That's how popular this company is in Japan. People, look, when I went to Japan and I was staying at my hotel, I was there for 2 weeks. Whenever I went to 7-Eleven in the morning, I didn't go to a restaurant. I didn't eat at a restaurant. I went to 7-Eleven in Japan for breakfast and even for lunch sometimes. And I swear, when I went there, like a lot of things would just sell fast, really fast. And when I came back to my hotel by like 5 o'clock, 6 p.m., a lot of those items in the 7-Eleven were gone. They sell quality food in the Japanese 7-Eleven, dudes.
Gas stations. The Japanese stores didn't sell gas, but had a much wider array of fresh food.
Fresh food.
Japanese stores only stocked items that would sell quickly. They had a proprietary distribution system that made multiple shipments to stores every day. Orders were customized by store, based on sales data, demographic trends, and local weather forecasts. American 7-Eleven stores were getting 2 deliveries per week, and some items were never being purchased. When American operators began counting items in their stores, some found that 40% of their products were selling less than 1 unit per month.
Wow.
Now, American 7-Eleven has its own distribution system, where franchises place orders every day based on company recommendations of what's selling nationally and regionally, and their own store data.
They're making decisions every single day on what they're going to order based on what they understand the customer wants to purchase. What new items.
Yeah, put some freaking fresh food in there, man. You know, look at all these chips. It's just chips, hot dogs, just junk food. It's no wonder Americans are so fat, you know?
Are going to be made available.
One of the most interesting lessons that we've learned from 7-Eleven Japan is their approach to operations and to retailing, which they call Tappen Kanri. And Tappen Kanri is basically this idea that we localize our assortment to the needs of customers. We actually help our stores localize their assortment so that they have the right balance of a consistent assortment of products that consumers and customers would expect to see nationally, as well as items in the assortment that are perfectly appropriate for a given store's location.
This is especially important when it comes to food. 7-Eleven Japan is known for its wide array of meal options.
You're not going to believe the choice of food in a convenience store.
American 7-Eleven also has a big food and beverage business. In total, it sold over $17 billion of food last year, about 24% of its overall sales. That included 315 million cups of coffee, 153 million Slurpees, and 99 million slices of pizza. But next year, it hopes to make 1/3 of its sales from store brand goods, including food, up from less than 1/4 in 2022. That's particularly important given shifts in the convenience store industry.
So if you think about what convenience stores sell, there's fuel, there's tobacco products, and there's food and snacks. Gas is already a low margin business, and it's at
Yeah, so gas is a low margin business. Gas, it doesn't really like bring in a lot of money. Like if somebody spends $25 on gas, the gas station really only gets like $2 or something like that. Very low.
risk long term if electric vehicle adoption increases over time. Tobacco, very profitable, but people are smoking less. Food, though, is a category where demand just isn't going away. So for convenience stores, it makes sense that they would want to double down on that.
7-Eleven currently has 17 so-called commissaries around the country that make food for all of its U.S. locations. Now, it's working on upgrading them. It's partnering with Warabeya, a supplier for 7-Eleven Japan, to spearhead the effort. Warabeya's new factories in Hawaii, Texas, and Virginia can make a wider and more localized range of food than 7-Eleven has been able to stock in the past.
Things like being able to cook rice en masse, new protein capabilities, all which help 7-Eleven introduce new types of products in the food area to our customers. We recently launched a product that's a spicy miso ramen soup, not something you would typically think about being sold at a 7-Eleven.
It's adding a lot of items to its menu. The main question is how many customers will buy them. And this is where data comes into the question.
When customers come into our stores,
Yeah, so most likely they're gonna put a lot of Japanese options into, in the American 7-Eleven. Yeah, because if you read the title, it says 7-Eleven is reinventing its 17 billion food business to be more Japanese. Okay, so I'm gonna stop it right there. So the reason why Japan is trying to make the American 7-Elevens more popular, or like to be more Japanese, and yeah, to be more Japanese and put more Japanese food options there is because, look, within the next decade, within the next 10, 20 years, many Japanese are going to disappear. You know what I'm trying to say? The population is going to go down, and they're not going to be selling as much as they are today, right? Because right now they have, 120 million people. Within the next few decades, it's going to go down by like 100 million, by 20 million. So as the numbers go down, the sales go down. But if they bring those same products to the American market, they can still make the same amount of money. You guys understand what I mean? And this is very, very, very important. And Japan can easily, export their products and food to America via California. It's very, very easy. And Japan has a good connection with America. So I want you to keep that in mind. So I'm gonna stop it there, guys. This is why I encourage people to go visit Japan, go check it out, travel, get out of America and see what's different out there. You will see that America, it's like you go and live in Tokyo, you see why people fall in love with living in Japan, because it's so convenient there. Tokyo is built for the people. It's built for the people. When you come to America, a lot of towns and cities, they're not built for the people. They're built for corporations. Like, like America, once upon a time, America was a train country, right? In the 1800s, in the early 1900s. But then, eventually it became a car country. You have to buy a car, otherwise you can't go anywhere. So I want you to think about that. And that's why I encourage you guys to travel. Go to Japan. Go to Asia. Go to Europe. Go to at least one country outside of America. Now you guys are here. This is an anime and gaming channel, so Japan will be the best option for you guys, I guess. But yeah, so I wanted to make this video because it's something that was very dear to me, is traveling in. The 7-Eleven in Japan makes the 7-Eleven in America look like a freaking, I don't know, man. It's embarrassing. Like, the more and more I learn about how other countries create their cities, America, I'm kind of embarrassed to live in America sometimes. But don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great things here in America that I will not trade, but still, whatever your thoughts are, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for future notifications. It's your boy and the Matrix. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ciao. Godspeed, baby.